Hello everybody, welcome to SpinZone Cycling, Granger, Indiana. I'm Terrell here in the Fit Studio, giving to you part 2 of the top 15 Christmas gift ideas for the serious or experienced cyclists in your life. The person that's in your life you're looking to get a cycling gift for, but it seems like they already have everything you need, or you're just clueless here trying to make a purchase for them. You have no clue what to get them. Last time in part 1, if you haven't seen it, I recommend you go back and watch it. We gave you about 6 or 7 items, and we left with a cleaning kit talking about nice cleaning brushes made specifically for bicycles, as well as cleaning solutions made specifically for getting the road grime or trail grime off of bicycles without damaging the paint on them. Sticking kind of with the theme of cleaning, for our next item is going to be this chain cleaner. So again, when we're talking about cleaning kits and cleaning solutions, it allows the bicyclist to have brushes and cleaning solutions set aside that are made specifically for their bike so that they can grab it quick. They know exactly where it's at when they're done with the ride, and they can get it cleaned real quick, which makes it a lot easier to keep the bike clean in the long run, rather than having to do a real thorough wash. Once it's extremely dirty, they can just stay on top of it with the cleaning kits we talked about. This is kind of a similar idea. You don't have to take your chain off of your bike and clean it when it gets super grimy. You can keep it clean regularly with this without taking it off of the bike. The chain just gets inserted into the middle of it. And it's going to help improve the longevity of the chain because it's going to stay cleaner, which is going to reduce some of the wear and tear on the pins, which causes what's called chain stretch. So this is a great item if they don't already have one. Help them keep their chain clean and get more longevity out of their chain. Bonus item here as just a small item you can add to go with this is going to be chain lube. If you get them some really nice lube, depending on what they're using, sometimes somebody may not realize how much dirt and debris can be repelled, or not going to stick as much with a nicer lube than maybe what they're using is something that attracts a lot of dirt. Or the serious experienced cyclists, maybe that's not the case because they have educated themselves and they use a good lubricant, but if they're regularly oiling their chain, some cyclists might even be picky enough that they're oiling it after every ride just to stay on top of it and again increase the longevity of their chain. So they're definitely going to go through some lubricant. So if you get them some nice chain lubricant, then they're going to appreciate that as well, just as kind of an add-on item if you want to get that, or as a stocking stuffer. The other thing that's going to help them maximize the life of their chain is a chain checker. So this is, they're not going to have to bring their bicycle into a shop to see how much chain life is left, or they're not going to have to worry when it's at 75, 80% usage, they only have 25, 20% of the chain left. Do they need to swap it out right away while it's in the shop? Do they need to buy one right then and there and change it? They can really maximize the chain and get it down to 10%, or if they really want to push it, 5% of the life of the chain left, and they don't have to worry about damaging their other components on their bike. So a good chain checker that'll help them check how much wear is left on the pins. If they don't already have one, if they've been cycling for a while and they haven't purchased one, this is probably something that they have considered getting and have just held off on it, so they're definitely going to appreciate that as well. Another item that the cyclist is going to frequently check is their tire pressure, not necessarily for a longevity perspective, but more from a efficiency perspective and definitely from a safety perspective. So if they have a real small gauge to check their tires, they're going to appreciate it. Sometimes it's nice to have a small gauge and you don't have to use your floor pump to check your tire pressure, because you don't always need to add air. If there's somebody who is really thorough with their safety checks before they take off with the ride, they're checking their air pressure every single time. So get them a nice, accurate gauge. If you want to go a step up from this, you get them a real compact digital gauge, and then that's something they can keep with them all the time. That's really nice, especially if they're a trail rider and they're adjusting their pressures for different types of trails. A nice compact gauge that they can keep with them, and they don't have a big floor pump with a big gauge on the bottom of it. Something like this is definitely really, really nice. item that you may think is kind of goofy to get for the serious experienced cyclist is pedals. You're thinking, oh, they already have the pedals they want. You know, they've probably even have a few flat pedals, cheaper pedals laying around in a drawer somewhere. You're thinking, oh, they've got more pedals than what they need. A couple things with the pedals. A lot of people know that the cleats on the shoes can wear out over time. If you stay on top of that, you're usually not going to have too much issues with your pedals, but the springs can wear down on the pedals. It's not super common, but just the different parts of the pedal can wear out if it's somebody who's cycling a lot. It would take probably a few years before that would happen, but again, if they've been cycling for a decade or two, they potentially need some pedals and upgrade to pedals. The main reason that we've put this on this list is because the serious experienced cyclist probably has multiple bikes, and as they upgrade their bike, they may just take the pedals they've been using off of their old bike and throw them on their new bike. So they may not have their favorite style of pedals on their backup bikes or on their older bikes that they just like to ride for nostalgic reasons. So getting them their favorite set of pedals, definitely a great idea. Makes it easier to switch from one bike to the other, and it's probably something that they're going to get more excited than what you think they would about a nice pair of pedals. Along those same lines is the pedal wrench for swapping out those pedals. So again, a lot of the bikers are probably just going to try to get by with a standard box wrench, which will work fine for swapping out your pedals. But it's much easier if you've got a wrench that's set up for pedals. It's thinner, which makes it easier to get between the crank arm and the pedal and get it. And then you also have more leverage as well, which makes it a lot easier to get pedals on and off. This is a tool that if you haven't used it before, you probably think, oh, it probably makes it a little bit easier, but I don't necessarily need it. And once you start using it, you'll realize just how much easier it makes it, and you'll never swap pedals out without one of these again. So just a good tool to add to their tool chest if they don't already have one of these. We're talking about increasing the longevity and maintenance and just different tools to use to work on your bike. When you're talking about that, you can't have that conversation without talking about a bicycle repair book. This is Park Tools' Big Blue Book of Cycling Repair that we have several copies of here at the shop here in SpinZone. Even people who feel like they know quite a bit about working on bicycles have found a lot of information in this book that they didn't know, and it just takes out some of the guesswork of working on your bike. Maybe even saves you a phone call or two to the bike shop to ask questions. Just makes it easier. You have peace of mind. You know what you're doing. You can teach yourself. And if you've got a part that's a little bit different on one of your bikes than what all your other bikes are, this book is going to probably show you how to work on that particular bike. The reason that we have several copies of these here in the shop is because we actually offer bicycle repair classes. Primarily we offer a beginner's class and then an intermediate class. If you haven't had any classes, or if it's somebody who is riding a lot, the person in your life you're trying to buy a gift for is somebody who rides a lot, but they have all their maintenance done by a shop. Those classes are definitely great. If you do the beginner class here and the intermediate class, you're going to be able to do at least 90% of the work on your bike and pretty much all of the preventative maintenance on your bike. And you're just going to know a lot about bicycle repairs, so you can understand better why the recommendations from the bike shop, from the mechanic, are being given to you. So the book is a great option, or if there's a place like here at SpinZone in Granger that offers classes, a gift card and getting them registered for the class is definitely an exciting gift idea as well. When we're talking about tools, one thing that a professional mechanic is going to use every single day that maybe the home garage mechanic doesn't use is a nice torque wrench. You can definitely get by without a torque wrench. you know, you can guess how tight the different screws and bolts on your bike need to be, and pretty well do okay. But if you want to do the exact manufacturer's recommendations, a torque wrench is great. Even if they already have a ratchet torque wrench like this, something that comes in really handy is a nice Allen torque wrench. Again, this is one that Park Tool offers. You can buy different bits to replace them out for all the different styles of screws you may have on your bike. This is really handy for our mechanics here. So that's a really nice gift. Torque wrenches can be a little bit pricier if somebody's just looking at tools and hasn't ever bought themselves nice tools. So this is potentially an item that the cyclist is holding off on getting for himself or herself. So that's a great item to add on as well. And then again, a lot of the garage mechanics are just working on their bikes up on a table or on the floor. So if you get them a nice stand, it's going to make the job a lot easier. Even just to replace tires and tubes on their bike, it's going to make it a lot easier to have a stand, get it up off the ground, and not worry about the bike falling over while you're working on it. So again, you can get by without the stand. You can work on the floor, you can work on the table, you can turn your bike upside down and work on it. But if you have a stand, it's going to be a really, really nice convenience, and they're going to appreciate that you got this gift for them every single time they work on their bike. Even to do something really simple, you know, a 30-second repair, that's no big deal to do on the floor. They're probably going to take the time to throw it up in the stand just because it's going to make things that much more convenient for them. So definitely something to keep in mind. That's all we have here at SpinZone for this list. Be sure to comment up below something we missed. Be sure to, if there's anything we missed, be sure to add it. Be sure to tag your friends and family that you think maybe are still Christmas shopping for you. Especially if you see something that you like, you know, tag them. Say this is a great idea, or this is awesome. Tell us what products are awesome that you may already have that you had held off for a while on getting for yourself, and that you're glad you haven't. But definitely tell us anything that we missed, and like and share it with your family. So that's all we have for you here at SpinZone for this list. Look forward to the beginner cyclist list and also the stocking stuffer list as well. But like I said, that's all we have here at SpinZone. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.